Reagan. Oh, it still says waiting for video stream data. Go. Oh. I might need it. Do I look okay? Hello everyone, welcome to our Avid Armor live Q&A session. I'm Nina. Today we are going to be featuring our USV20 chamber vacuum sealer. This chamber vacuum sealer is one of the smallest chamber vacuum sealers on the market, and so we get tons of questions about what can I vacuum seal in it, how much can I vacuum seal at a time, what bag sizes can I use, and we're going to answer all of those questions for you today. Feel free to ask questions as we go along. We're going to be happy to answer them and hopefully do demonstrations for you if you have any questions. So make sure you comment down below with whatever questions you have. We're also streaming on like 5 different platforms today, but if you happen to be watching on Amazon Live, we're going to be doing a special giveaway just for our viewers over there. We're going to be giving away a $100 gift card. So if you're watching somewhere else, feel free to click on the link below in the live and hop on over to our Amazon Live feed for your chance to win. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started doing some demonstrations with the USV20. So the USV20 is a chamber vacuum sealer, and chamber vacuum sealers might be new to some people. It's a completely different technology than a standard suction vacuum sealer. What chamber vacuum sealers allow you to do is vacuum seal liquids and any other food item that you want to vacuum seal right in the chamber, completely mess-free, hassle-free, and so we're going to show you how to do that. We have 3 bag sizes that we recommend when using for our USV20. The first one is a 6x10 bag. That would be equivalent to about a pint-sized bag if you're familiar with different pre-cut vacuum sealer bags. We also have an 8x10 size bag, which would be equivalent to a quart-size vacuum sealer bag. And then we have a custom bag that we designed specifically for the USV20. This is an 11x10 inch bag. The opening of it is actually on the long side. So what that does is the size of the bag fits the orientation of the USV20 just perfect, because the it has an 11-inch seal bar, so the USV20 is actually wider than it is deep from front to back. So this bag, the 11 by 10, fits perfectly right down in the chamber just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. We're going to start with our 6 by 10 bags and show you what you can vacuum seal in a 6 by 10 bag. So one of the very most impressive things that people get super excited about is vacuum sealing liquids. So in the 6 by 10 bag, we recommend about a cup's worth of whatever liquid you're doing. So today I have some fresh squeezed juice that we're going to put into a 6 by 10 bag. I'm going to try not to make a mess since I'm doing this live, but I'm going to pour this into the 6 by 10 bag. Hang on just a second. This is 1 cup that we're putting in here. And you've got to, even though there's a lot of extra space, it kind of looks like, oh, there's a lot more space in that bag, I can do more. But we always recommend no more than filling the bag halfway full, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow plenty of space when you lay the bag down in the chamber, that it's not going to overflow at all. And when it's going under vacuum, the liquid can have the tendency to approach the seal bar. You don't want it to overflow at all. So at least 3 to 4 inches of headspace. I always like to say less than halfway full. So I'm going to go ahead and place this in here. Again, this is a 6 by 10 chamber vacuum sealer pouch with 1 cup of fresh juice. This is also good for if you make homemade marinara or any other soups and stews. This is a great a great product that you can vacuum seal these and then store them in your freezer. So the default vacuum time setting for the USV20 is 20 seconds. When you have smaller items in the chamber, you're probably going to want a higher vacuum time, because the smaller the item in the chamber, there's more air to remove, so you're going to need a little bit more time to get a nice vacuum. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to increase the vacuum time setting to 25 seconds. So it just takes pressing the set button and then the plus button up to 25. Our seal time setting, we always pretty much keep that default setting of 4, and then all you have to do once everything's ready is press the auto vac and seal. So that was a 25-second vacuum time. Now it's sealing the bag, and then it's going to put the air back inside the chamber. And what that does, adding that atmospheric pressure back into the chamber, is that pressure that's added back is what actually causes the bag to collapse or vacuum seal. So now that that's completely done, remove it from the bag, and you have, that is 1 cup of liquids vacuum sealed in a bag. You can lay this in your freezer, and it makes it super simple, takes up hardly any room, and it will freeze just like that. So that is, like I said, 1 cup of fresh juice in the 6 by 10 bag. Now you can also do, a lot of people like to do soups, stews, chilies, things that are going to be a little bit thicker than just a straight up liquid. So you can probably get away with doing a little bit more in your bag than a straight up liquid. So this is chili. It's very thick and hearty. So we actually put 1.5 cups of liquid, or it's, like I said, a thick, hearty liquid in here. So I'll show you how that's done. Again, super simple. Lay it in the chamber. What we do is we put the bottom layer of the bag underneath the bag clip. That allows the top layer of the bag to remain free so that the air can easily come out of the bag. And then just make sure it's nice and smooth across the seal bar. I'm going to keep the vacuum time setting the same since it seemed to be adequate for our first bag, and we'll go ahead and press auto vac and seal. You'll notice as it's approaching the end of the vacuum, it'll start to bubble up, boil up. That's because the atmospheric pressure is so low in the chamber. So that is all completely normal. If you see your food start to bubble or boil, there's nothing going wrong with it. And now that's a very good vacuum. You might have to, if you want to lay it flat in your freezer, you can kind of squish it out to get it to be flat to lay in your freezer. But that's vacuum sealed chili. That's about 1.5 cups, a perfect single portion amount in a 6x10 bag. And then, so those were, you know, more of the liquidy stuff. And then people are like, well, what about my proteins, my meats, and more hard items, things like that. This is a 6x10, still 6x10 bag. This is the smallest bag that we have for the USV20. This is about 1 pound of ground beef. Same thing, lay it in the chamber, and you'll get really good results using a chamber vacuum sealer on your meat. Okay, same vacuum time setting, 25 seconds. All right, so that is a perfectly vacuum sealed 1 pound portion of ground beef. Again, perfect for, you know, individual or a couple people. That bag size is great. So don't forget, so that's all of the things that we have for our 6x10 bag, our smallest bag for the USV20. If you have any questions so far, don't forget to comment down below so we can do some demos for you. Our next bag size is our middle bag size. It's a very popular size for a couple portions at a time, but for liquids, you know, I know a lot of people have their routines and specific amounts of that they vacuum seal at a time, so that's why we wanted to demonstrate all the different amounts that you can seal in each of our bag sizes. So this is our 8x10 chamber vacuum pouch. We have about 2.5 to 3 cups of fresh juice, 100% liquid in our 8x10 bag. Again, remember, you only want the bag less than halfway full to prevent anything from overflowing. And just like we did with the other bag, place the bottom flap underneath the bag holder, position it nice and smooth across the seal bar, and then we're going to go ahead and keep the vacuum time set to 20. It seems to be the magical number so far. If you feel like, you know, you need a little bit more of a vacuum, you would increase your vacuum time to maybe 30 seconds. If you feel like it's a little bit too much vacuum, like your items are starting to approach the seal bar where it looks like it might overflow, you might be able to get away with a little bit less of a vacuum time. All right, look at that beautiful bag. Perfectly vacuum sealed liquid. There's no messes, and that will lay perfectly flat in your freezer just like that, and stay good in there for a very long time. We do have a few questions. I'm trying to hear what those are. So I'll go ahead and vacuum seal another thing, and then we'll answer a few questions. I think one of them was about vacuum sealing externally, so we can do that. So I'll have my help over here get us some bags so we can vacuum seal externally. We'll do that right after this. So next, 8x10 bag. Again, this is another liquid. It's a chili. It's a little bit thicker than the juice, so you can still you could probably get away with a little bit more than what you did with the straight up liquid. So this is actually about 3 cups of chili. You might be able to get away with a little bit more. Probably about 2 portions. We'll keep the vacuum time the same. And here we go. Again, as you can see the chili start to bubble up. Completely normal. That's removing all the air from the bag. So there we go. That is about 3.5 cups of chili in our 8x10 quart size bag. Again, perfectly vacuum sealed. So we're still getting a bag ready so we can show you how to seal externally on here. But we also have, I want to show you a protein in an 8x10 bag. This is a very large 1.5 pound ribeye in an 8x10 bag. It barely fits. It's cutting close to the, we always suggest about, 3.5 inches, maybe even 4 inches of headspace, so that way to make sure that the bag lays smoothly across the seal bar. If it does get too close to the seal bar, you may have noticed you'll get wrinkles, tiny little wrinkles in your bag, which will leak air after it's vacuum sealed. You don't want that. So it's very important that you have enough headspace to make sure the bag is nice and smooth across the seal bar. So this is about 1.5 pounds in the 8x10 bag. Same vacuum time, 25 seconds. All right, there we go. Looks like we had enough headspace, so the seal is nice and complete all the way through. There's no wrinkles in there. You don't want, like I said, you don't want any wrinkles, but that's a very tightly packed ribeye steak that will stay fresh in your freezer for years and prevent it from getting freezer burn. So someone asked the question, sorry it took us so long to get that. Someone asked the question about vacuum sealing on the USV20 externally, and the answer is yes. So if you have an item that is too big to fit inside the chamber, we just have some ground beef that we're going to vacuum seal externally. The thing is though, when you're vacuum sealing externally, if you want a vacuum on it, you have to use a regular vacuum sealer bag that has the embossed texture, just like a regular suction vacuum sealer. Otherwise, if it's a chamber pouch that is smooth on both edges, it's not going to suck the air out of the bag. This texture on the bag, that acts as highways for the air to escape the bag. So when you're vacuum sealing externally, it doesn't take long for this pump to remove all the air from the bag, so you can get away with doing the lowest vacuum time setting. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this to 15 seconds because it doesn't need much. And then you're going to need even more headspace when you're doing it externally, because you're going to have enough room for the opening of the bag to be inside the chamber, and then over the seal bar, and then room for to close the lid and the rest of the bag to hang out of the sealer. So this isn't probably a realistic item that you would vacuum seal externally, because this could technically fit inside of the chamber, but for this demonstration I'm going to show you how to do it. And another thing to keep in mind, do not ever vacuum seal liquids doing it this way. If you have too much liquids to fit in your chamber, don't ever vacuum seal externally, because all you'll do is suck all those liquids into the chamber. So I'll go ahead and show you how this is done. We're going to make sure that's nice over the seal bar, and then you'll close your lid just like that, and then you'll press your auto vacuum seal, and you'll see it sucks that air right out. You will notice it essentially is acting like a suction vacuum sealer. So all the juices from this ground beef is being sucked. It may stop them. We'll see before the seal bar. But this is good if you have dry items. We don't, like I said, we don't ever recommend it if you have anything that's liquid or even high moisture, because that could affect the seal, or you could make a mess inside of the chamber. But that worked just perfect. It's sealed the bag. You can see all the juice from the ground beef is wanted to come out of the bag, but it works perfectly that way as well. All right, so I think that's it for our 8x10 bag, and this was a 8x12 quart size regular vacuum sealer bag. So now I'm going to get to, do we have any other questions that people, no other questions? Mylar bags. The answer is yes. So let me go ahead and I will get our team to get a Mylar bag. I hope we have one available. We'll get a Mylar bag, show you how that works. In the meantime, while we get that prepared, I'm going to show you the largest vacuum sealer bag that we have for the USV20. So this is going to be pretty much the maximum amounts that you can vacuum seal in the USV20 chamber, inside the chamber. So we've got our 11x10 bag. This is 100% liquid. Again, it's back to the juice. This is about 4 cups of liquid. Oh, it's got a little liquid, a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. So 4 cups in here, and it's a little less than halfway full. Like I said, you just got to be very careful because you don't want the liquids overflowing in the chamber. So that allows plenty of headspace to lay the bag down, lift up the bag clamp, place that bottom one over there under it, clamp it down. So this is 4 cups in our 11x10 bag. And I don't know, we have a paper towel I can get. I made a mess on the lid, so hopefully I can still see that. We had a question about double sealing a bag. I'm not sure 100% if I understand the question, but the USV20 does have a double seal wire on the seal bar, so it does automatically double seal the bag every time, but I don't think it would be necessary to add another seal to the bag. If that didn't answer your question, then let me know. But so that is 4 cups in our 11x10 vacuum sealer bag ready to go. If you have like a thicker liquid, I'll show you. This is about, again, I'm going to try to do this live without making a huge mess. So 11 by 10 bag. I've got 4 cups of baked bean leftovers here. So I'm going to put that in our bag and show you how you can vacuum seal that. All right, there we go. So this is 4 cups of baked beans. It's a thicker, still very liquidy, but thicker than the juice we did. Laying that in the chamber. Laying across the seal bar. And then, oh, that I forgot on that last one, I forgot to increase the vacuum time. I still had it low from whenever we did our external vacuum. So I'm glad I caught that. So I'm going to raise our vacuum time back up to 25 seconds for vacuum sealing the 11 by 10 bag with these baked beans. All right, so this is, now that's an 11 by 10 bag. This is about the maximum you can seal at a time inside the USV20 chamber. So that's about 4 cups in the 11 by 10 bag. Perfect amount for a family of 4, or unless you like bigger portions, a couple people. So we had a question. Someone was wondering what the difference was. They couldn't tell the difference between our bags, what determines a chamber vacuum sealer pouch and a suction vacuum sealer bag. We try to differentiate it. If you're looking online and you see Avid Armor bags, we have 2 different kinds. Regular suction vacuum sealer bags that have the embossed texture, those have a green label. So you can use those inside of a chamber vacuum sealer, but those are the ones that you have to use. If you want to use this as a external vacuum sealer, you have to use them on the outside to get a vacuum. So those are the ones with the green label. All of our chamber vacuum pouches have a blue label, and the reason why we recommend chamber vacuum pouches over the suction vacuum pouches is because they don't have the embossed texture, which makes them more cost effective than the suction vacuum sealer bag. So you're gonna, even though you may be paying a little bit more for your chamber vacuum sealer up front, in the long run you're going to be saving a lot of money on your vacuum sealer bags, because you can get double, maybe 2 to 3 times more bags than what you can on the suction bags. So one of the really good visuals that I like to show people, because a lot of people have a hard time visualizing even over video, about what you can fit in vacuum seal and the USV20, is if you can visualize about a pound of bacon, a bacon package, that will give you a good idea of the size that can fit an 11 by 10 bag in the chamber vacuum sealer. So this is, or in the USV20. So this is just over a pound of bacon, fit just perfectly in the USV20. I think this is an excellent visualizer. And you could probably, if you want to double, triple layer your bacon, you could probably, you could do that and still fit it in here. But I just like to do that one single layer so you can visualize the actual dimensions of the chamber. So I'm going to actually probably, since this is a flat product and it's not taking up a lot of space, I'm going to go ahead and increase the vacuum time on this to 30 seconds just to make sure we get all that air out and it's placed in the chamber. And then once that, there we go, now I'll auto vac and seal. All right, so that is our perfectly vacuum sealed bacon in the 11 by 10 bag, perfectly vacuum sealed and ready for the refrigerator or freezer, which brings me to another question. Someone asked, if you vacuum seal beans, do you have to freeze them or can you store them in the refrigerator? And the answer is absolutely. So I always like to say that you can usually do things for 3 to 5 times longer than a traditional storage method. So if you are putting, let's say, like those baked beans in a standard plastic container in your refrigerator, and you would feel comfortable still eating those 3 to 4 days down the road, then with it being vacuum sealed in the refrigerator, you could probably do that for 2 to 3 weeks later, and it would be perfectly fine. And then obviously you'd want to put it in the freezer after that amount of time if you wanted to keep them from going bad. Also, don't forget we're doing a giveaway over on Amazon after the conclusion of this live. So if you haven't had a chance, hop on over to our Amazon Live. I think you can comment, interact, and we're going to pick one lucky viewer to win a $100 gift card. So back to, someone had a question about Mylar bags, if we can seal Mylar bags in the USV20. The answer is absolutely yes. Keep in mind, you're going to want to make sure your Mylar bags are no longer than about 10 inches. That's the golden rule that I like to tell people for the USV20. About 10 inches long is very easily, you can do very easily. If you have a bag that's a little bit longer, I'm sure it can still work. You might just have to fumble with it a little bit to make sure it all fits inside the chamber, and then the opening of the bag is positioned nice and smooth across the seal bar. So we have some, we just threw some quick noodles into this Mylar bag. This is a 7mm Mylar bag. So what you're going to want to make sure you do when you seal Mylar bags, since these bags are thicker than our standard vacuum sealer pouches, is you're going to need to increase your seal time. So as I mentioned before, the seal time setting that we would use for a regular Avid Armor chamber vacuum pouch is about 4 seconds for the seal time. We're going to want to bump this up to 6 or 7, depending, all Mylar bags might be a little bit different. They might be different thicknesses. They might be made of slightly different materials. So you're going to have to test your bag that you have to determine what the best seal time is. So we're going to go ahead and put this bag. This, I believe, is a 8. No, this might be a 6 by 10. This is a 6 by 10 Mylar bag. So we're going to place it in a chamber just like we do our other bags. Place it over the seal bar. Again, I'm going to change my seal time up to 6. I think that should be sufficient. And then I have my vacuum time set to 30. I'm going to keep it increased again because there's hardly any noodles in here. Again, with chamber vacuum sealers, the less of the chamber that's occupied, you're going to need more vacuum time to remove all the air because there's more air in the chamber. If you have a bigger roast or something that takes up a lot more space, there's less air in the chamber, so you can get away with a lower vacuum time. So like I said, 30 seconds, seal time setting of 6. All right, sealing the bag, and look at that. So we have a Mylar bag with a few vacuum sealed noodles in there, but as you can see, let's test it, see if my 6 was good enough. Yep, a seal time setting of 6 worked perfect. That's Mylar bag. If you can pull it and it's not opening, it's a successful seal. So that is a Mylar bag using a seal time setting of 6 in the USV20. All right. Someone asked if you need oxygen absorbers to put into any of your bags when you vacuum seal. No, you don't have to. If it gives you peace of mind to add oxygen absorbers, it doesn't hurt. It won't hurt anything, but I don't think it's necessary. If that helps. So one of the other last things we want to show you is meat. Some protein. We have this is about 3 pounds of ribeye steak in our largest 11 by 10 bag. I just want to go ahead and show you how you can vacuum seal these size items in the USV20. Again, we're approaching a little bit maximum or the least amount of headspace that we need to properly seal a bag. As you can see, it might be a little bit trickier to make sure you get your bag nice and smooth across that seal bar, because if it's not, you will get wrinkles in your seal, and we all know what the wrinkles do. The wrinkles will leak air long term. So I'm going to change our seal time setting, and whenever I'm done with this, I'll flip the sealer around to kind of show everybody the control panel and how it operates. But I'm going to reduce the vacuum time down again to 25, and then reduce the seal time back down to 4. And then go ahead and press auto vac and seal. All right, so this, look at that, beautiful. It's heavy. So that's about 3 pounds of ribeye, nice thick ribeye, vacuum sealed very tight in our 11 by 10 chamber vacuum pouch, which is the biggest for the USV20. We had a question. Someone said that they have a USV20 and their sons like to do a lot of fishing, and so they like to vacuum seal their fish. The fish is too long for to fit inside the USV20. What's the best way to handle that? So yes, we would probably recommend using suction vacuum sealer rolls, depending on how long of a bag you need. If the pre-cut bags aren't adequate in length, then you can make a custom length bag using a vacuum sealer roll. You'll just need to seal one end of the bag. So I'll go ahead and turn the vacuum sealer around so I can show everybody some of the functions. If I can see them, I might actually maybe step around. Okay. Let me know if this is an okay spot. So the control panel of the USV20, you can set your vacuum time, you can set your seal time, you can do a seal only. So back to that, when you're making custom bag sizes, you would use the seal only function. So you would cut the length of bag off the roll. You're going to put it the end of the bag inside of here, and you're going to use the seal only function. The only thing is with a chamber vacuum sealer, it does have to pull a partial vacuum in order to make a seal. So don't be alarmed, don't be worried. It's going to take a little bit longer to do just a seal only on the USV20 compared to like a suction vacuum sealer that you might be used to. But you can do a seal only. And then so you're going to seal it, then you'll put your fish in your bag, and then like I showed earlier, you'll place the opening of the bag over the seal bar and then bring it out. And then you can set for a suction vacuum bag, you can set your seal time, or I'm sorry, your vacuum time to the lowest vacuum setting, because you don't need a lot of time to vacuum out from a suction sealer. So to do that, to lower your vacuum time, all you have to do is press the set button, and then you're going to just press your plus or minus buttons until you get down to the desired vacuum level. 15 is the lowest on the USV20, so that should be sufficient, and then you would just press your auto vacuum seal button and you should be good to go. When you're doing the Mylar bags, if you need a higher seal time setting, you would just press your set button, set twice to get over to your seal time, and then you would increase that to your 6 or 7, whatever seal time that you need. Wait for the flashing to stop. That means it's set, and then you can run your auto vacuum seal cycle. So, did we have any other questions? There is another feature on the USV20 that a lot of people love. It's the marinate feature. You can marinate directly in the chamber. You can put your protein in either a dish that fits inside of the chamber, or you can put it directly in a vacuum bag, place it in the chamber. It's not going to seal the bag, but what it's going to do is it's going to put the chamber under vacuum for 60 seconds, and while it's under vacuum, it's allowing it's opening up the pores of your meat or your protein, and allowing that marinade to penetrate into your meat much faster, and makes for a very tender and flavorful piece of meat. So that's another really cool function. The USV20 also has an accessory port, which is really cool. It allows you to vacuum seal external canisters. If you have a jar attachment to vacuum seal mason jars, you can do that directly with the accessory port. We have a hose here that I'll show you. I don't know if did we want to vacuum seal yeah, we have a canister that we can use. Is this the, oh, sure. Let's see. We'll go ahead and turn this around so I can see everything a little bit better, a little bit easier. There's so many angles that we want to see on these chamber sealers. It's hard to get enough cameras to see everything. So this is one of our Avid Armor. It's part of our 3-piece vacuum canister set. You can vacuum seal whatever you want here. Some people do fruits and veggies, or keep their lettuce longer in the refrigerator, or you can do dry goods. We have a few pasta noodles in there, but all you have to do is attach your hose to your canister, and then make sure the canister is on the seal. If you're using these canisters, make sure it's on the seal option, so that way whenever you press whenever you start the canister function, it will vacuum seal. So for the canister function, you're going to press and hold down on the auto vacuum seal button for 2 full seconds, and that's going to activate the accessory port. And it's done that quickly. I'll go ahead and remove the hose so you can see this lid is now vacuum sealed on the canister, and then the only way to get this off is to turn a dial to the open, and then it will release the vacuum and you can remove the lid. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this when I open it. There we go. Now it's open, and you can switch out whatever you want, but that's a great, people love doing lettuce so it doesn't brown when you put it in, and that's part of our 3-piece canister set. So we have 3 different sizes. That's the smallest of the 3. All of the products that we use today in this demonstration, in this live, are linked. So feel free to click on over those. If you have any other questions, you can always email us, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. But I hear that we might have another question, or no? Oh, I guess we're gonna, hang on one second. Okay, we're going to, sorry, we are going to go ahead and announce the winner of our $100 Amazon gift card winner. This is to a person that liked, commented over on our Amazon Live feed. So the winner is, whoever the winner is, you'll have to contact us and we'll get your contact information so we can send you your gift card. So the winner is Stephen S. Reed. You are the winner of our $100 gift card. So congratulations. Remember, reach out to us. For everybody else, thank you for joining us. Again, if you have any questions about any of our products, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help and answer any questions you have. All right. Thank you so much. See you next time.